Hi there, I'm Sean Dillman. Today we're diving into the wonderful world of photo scanning. Whether you're looking to preserve old cherished memories, or simply want to digitize and organize your current photo collection, scanning your photos opens up a world of possibilities. It helps protect your images from damage or loss, introduces new opportunities for you to polish them up if they need a little TLC, and makes it easy to share and enjoy them with family and friends. So whether you're working with vintage photos or your latest snapshots, we'll explore how you can get the best results from your photo scanning projects. At the end of this video, I'll share how you can download my companion digital guide, which supplements this video in a handy written format so that the information is easy to follow and right at your fingertips. As always, if you like this video, please be sure to comment, leave a like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And before I begin, please note that this video is sponsored content brought to you by Ricoh. But as always, all the opinions expressed are my own. So let's get started by talking about why it's so important to scan your photos. Photos capture moments in time that we can never get back, and they hold a lot of emotional value. But over time, physical photos can fade, get damaged, or even be lost or stolen. By digitizing them, you're not only protecting these precious memories, but you're also making it easier to share them. It's a wonderful way to keep the past alive and ensure that these special moments are never forgotten. The first step in the process, if you don't already have a way to scan your photos, is to choose the right scanner for your needs. If you have a large number of standard size photos and you want to get through them quickly, the ScanSnap IX2500 with its automatic feeder is a fantastic option. The IX2500 can hold up to 100 photos at a time, so if you've got stacks and stacks of photos, using this kind of scanner is the best way to get the job done quickly and easily. You just place them here in the automatic feeder, press the scan button, and in a few seconds, your photos are scanned. If instead of having lots of standard photos, you have photos of various shapes and sizes, the ScanSnap IX1300 may be an even better choice. Like the IX2500, the IX1300 also has an automatic feed scanner, but it also has a one-of-a-kind front return scan that lets you quickly and easily digitize different kinds of photos. As long as your photos fit here in the approximately 8.5-inch slot, you can feed them in one by one to quickly and easily scan all kinds of photos. And finally, if you have delicate or fragile photos, an overhead scanner like the ScanSnap SV600 is perfect because it scans without any contact at all. If you have photos that may be too brittle to be fed through a document feed scanner, the SV600 lets you scan them safely while keeping them flat and untouched. The SV600 also has the added benefit of being able to scan oversized photos as well, up to 17 by 11.8 inches in size. Here I am using my SV600 to scan a large family photo that won't fit in any other scanner. So between the ScanSnap IX2500, IX1300, SV600, and other scanners in the ScanSnap series, you've got many different options to fit your specific needs. Once you're ready with a scanner, the next step is to collect and organize your photos. If you want them to be grouped together in a particular way, or if you want some photos to be in a specific order, it's best to do this organization work now before you start scanning. Of course, you can always later rename and reorganize your scanned images, but by putting your photos in the right order now before you scan, you'll save yourself time and effort. At this stage, you should also dust off your photos if need be, and handle them carefully to avoid leaving fingerprints. This little bit of additional care can go a long way to ensure that you get the best scans possible. Although you can later use software to touch up images if need be, which I'll be showing you how to do later in this video, it's always best to start with the cleanest photo possible. This way you don't need to spend time fixing imperfections, and you get the best quality scans right from the start. Once you're ready with a scanner and your photos are clean and organized, the next step is to double check your scanner settings. If you're going to be digitizing a lot of photos, you want everything to be set correctly, so that you don't spend a lot of time scanning, only to find that something wasn't quite right with your settings. Fortunately, ScanSnap scanners come with free and easy to use software called ScanSnap Home, which is built for the most common scanning applications and includes a ready-made profile for scanning photos called Photo Album. Within the Photo Album profile, you can see there are 4 main settings: file format, color mode, scanning side, and image quality. Let's take a look at each. Under file format, we want to save in JPEG format, not PDF, because JPEG is the most common file format for scanning and working with photos. It preserves excellent image quality while keeping file sizes manageable, making it easy to view, share, or edit your photos later on. Under color mode, because most photos are in color, we want to ensure that we're scanning in color or automatic mode, unless you know that you're scanning black and white photos, and in that case, you'll want to select grayscale. We use grayscale to scan black and white photos because we want to ensure that we're picking up all the important details and different shades in the photo. As you can see between these two images, grayscale scanning produces a much better, more detailed image over scanning in black and white mode. Under scanning side, I suggest using the duplex scanning mode and scanning your photos face up, which means that both the front and the back of your photos will be scanned. Photos often have written information on the back, like a printed date or a handwritten note, which we also want to save. For photos that don't have anything on the back, we'll use the blank page removal feature that I'll show you in a few minutes to ensure that any blank scans will be removed automatically. Finally, under image quality, I recommend using the excellent setting, because if we're scanning photos, we want the best quality possible. If you later decide that you want to reduce the file size of a scanned photo, you can do that. But you can't go the other way around and make a low quality resolution image larger without suffering some loss of quality. Because using the excellent setting scans at 600 dots per inch and creates relatively large files, it also results in slightly slower scanning times. So if you're scanning a lot of photos and you don't want the higher resolution scan quality, you can use the best setting to scan at 300 dots per inch resolution instead. Your scanned images will be lower resolution, but you'll be able to scan faster. Ultimately, whether you use the excellent setting or the best setting, all depends on how you want to balance speed, image resolution, and file size. 300 dots per inch is generally fine for sharing and enjoying photos, but if you plan to reprint your photos or do editing work, having them at 600 dots per inch is preferred. In addition to these 4 basic settings, there are also advanced settings that you can see by clicking Edit Profiles and then Detailed Settings. Under the Scan tab, we see that ScanSnap Home offers additional features like automatic rotation based on face detection, blank page removal, automatic contrast enhancement, red eye correction, and fading correction. The automatic rotation based on face detection is a fantastic feature and saves a lot of time rotating photos. And the blank page removal feature that I mentioned earlier saves a lot of time by automatically removing any blank images that are scanned, like the backs of photos that don't have anything on them. If you're scanning a large batch of photos, having these features turned on can save you a lot of time by keeping everything properly rotated and free of empty scans. The automatic contrast enhancement, red eye correction, and fading correction features can also make a big difference, especially if you're scanning older or imperfect photos. The contrast enhancement automatically adjusts brightness and contrast to make images look clearer and more balanced. Fading correction helps restore color to aged prints, and red eye correction automatically fixes this common issue that comes with flash photography. Now that you've checked your settings, there's just one more consideration that you need to be aware of, which is file naming. When it comes to naming and organizing scanned photos, using a consistent naming system is important for keeping things organized and easy to find. Returning to the Detailed Settings window, under the File Name tab, you'll see that you can choose your file naming method. You can either have your files be named by the scan date, which means the date that you scanned the photo, or you can use your own custom file names. I recommend using custom file names and giving your photos names that will make them easy to find and share. For example, if I'm using my ScanSnap IX2500 to scan these photos that I have from a 2009 trip to Venice, I'll name each photo Venice Trip 2009, and then I'll use the serial number option to ensure that each photo has its own unique number. As you can see, when I scan my photos, they're named Venice Trip 2009-01, Venice Trip 2009-02, etc. The key to this system is that it makes it easy for me to search and find my photos later. Finding these photos will always be easy because I can find them by searching for the keywords Venice, 2009, or even trip. Once your photos are scanned, you may also want to perform some quick and easy touch-ups. If you don't already have photo editing software, Adobe Photoshop is the industry standard and is a fantastic choice for detailed editing. However, a lot of people find Photoshop to be a bit overwhelming, especially if you're not a professional photo editor. The menus, layers, and tools can be a little confusing when all you really want to do is make your photo look great. And that's why I recommend using PixArt. PixArt is very user-friendly, works right in your web browser without the need to install any software, and you can still get polished results that look just as good as something done in Photoshop. Using my ScanSnap IX2500, I've scanned a really special photo of my mom. She's about 10 years old in it, and she's with her pony Smokey. However, as you can see, this photo has seen better days. It's got a big crinkle down the middle, a ripped corner, some stains that look like maybe old glue or tape, and it's a bit discolored and blurry. It's seen better days, and it could definitely use some TLC. The first thing I'll do is open ScanSnap Home and find the photo by searching for the keyword Smokey. I'll right-click on it and then click Reveal in File Explorer so that I can find where the file is saved in Windows. I'll then use the Windows Copy and Paste command to save a copy of the photo in my Downloads folder. I do this for two reasons. First, when editing a photo, it's always best to work with a copy so that you can change it as much as you want and still have the original, untouched version. Second, when I use the file upload tool in PixArt, I want to have the photo in an easy-to-find location. I'll now go to pixart.com and log in using either my Google, Facebook, or Apple account. I'll then click Start New Design, then Upload from your device, and I'll upload the photo from my Downloads folder. Once it's uploaded, I'll click on the tool called Remove, and I'll start highlighting the areas that need to be fixed, one by one. First, I'll fix the torn corner. I'll click the plus arrow in the bottom right corner to zoom in on that area of the photo, and then I'll use the Remove tool to highlight the section that needs to be fixed, and then I'll click Remove. Next, I'll move on to the gluey area here and do the same thing to fix it. I'll then move on to fixing the big wrinkle in the middle of the photo. Lastly, I'll do a final sweep of the photo to clean up any additional scratches and imperfections. Finally, I'll return to the main editing page and click AI Enhance, which will automatically fix details, reduce blur, add any needed pixels, and improve the resolution. As you can see, when we look at the before on the left and the after on the right, the AI Enhance tool does a great job of smoothing things out and improving the image quality. In a few easy steps, we've taken a photo that's very worn out and we gave it new life. As you can see from these before and after shots, it's now much clearer and more vibrant. I can now click Apply and then Download to save my newly edited photo to my computer. I'll give it a name like Mom and Smokey Edit, save it to my Windows folder where the original is, and then drag and drop my new photo into ScanSnap Home so that when I search for it, I'll see it right here next to the original. And once you've scanned your photos and start restoring them, you may find that you want to reprint them or find other fun and creative ways to share them. One of my favorite ways to share scanned photos is with an Aura frame. Aura frames are smart digital picture frames that display your favorite photos without memory cards or complicated setup. Just scan your old photos with a ScanSnap, upload them to your smartphone, and use the Aura Frame app to make your photos appear on the Aura frame instantly. They make perfect gifts for families, especially for people who aren't on social media. In addition to being able to upload photos yourself, you can also invite family members to add their own photos to the frame, creating a private photo stream for loved ones. It's a really amazing way to stay connected and share memories. So if you'd like to try one, please see my affiliate link below. So with that, there you have it. That's how to scan, organize, and restore your photos so that you can preserve your favorite memories for years to come. Whether you're using the ScanSnap IX2500 for big batches, the IX1300 for mixed sizes, or the SV600 for delicate or oversized photos, each of these scanners makes it easy to get professional quality results right from home. So thanks again for watching this video, and if you liked it, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to share, I'd love to hear about your photo scanning needs. Write a comment below and let me know. What's one old photo that you'd love to bring back to life by scanning it? Do you still have printed photo albums, or have you already gone fully digital? And if you could only keep one photo from your entire collection, which one would it be and why? For advice on scanning and organizing other documents, please see my latest video called What to Scan and Why It Matters. If you'd like to download my simple companion guide, which contains the instructions that I covered in this video and answers to frequently asked questions, please visit my website at www.seandillman.com. Thanks again for watching. As always, I'm Sean Dillman.